Heyo, Stoic here. Hey, welcome to the Bedrock Guide. Today's tutorial, we're going to be making an iron farm with a 30 villager trading hall. Yeah, let's do it. So this iron farm is going to have 30 villagers, which allows up to 3 golems spawn at one time, which actually improves your rates. Now, having more villagers can get you more golems at the same time, but it's rare that you'll have up to 4 golems at the same time. Even 3 is kind of sparse, but with 3, you can have more iron. So on average, I was able to pull in between 6 and 7.5 stacks of iron. You can see right here, here's a couple of my things. And here's another one that's been going kind of in the background. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7. So that's giving us between 384 and 448 iron ingots per hour. So after doing a little bit of reading, researching, and having a couple conversations, I learned that cats are actually spawning independently of the iron golem, so you can kill them as much as you want and it will not improve or decrease your iron golem rates. So that's good news because we could use the string. So I have added in some campfires here that will, here's a good example, take care of those little kitties, and we can now get all of that string too while we're at it. So a little bonus there, and yeah, this works out great for us. Now with 30 villagers, you can set things up however you want for trading, and this is going to be built in a way that if you wanted to get the discounts, you can get them. And yeah, this should work out really great. And 30 villagers is a lot, but there's a lot of books that you can get. There's a lot of armor that you can get, and tools and weapons that you can get as well that really cost almost nothing once you get those villager discounts. Now this farm was made in a way, we got 3. It made in a way such that golems will not spawn outside of this pool of water, which is good because the last thing we want to do is have a wandering iron golem, which will ruin our rates. Now this is also unbreakable because we have the beds oriented in such a way that even if the center of the villager changes based off of one of the beds, it will always contain our iron golems in the pool, so we never have to worry about them. So yeah, we got 30 beds here. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. Let's build it. Check out the description to see the list of materials for this. Did you see that structure over there? That is so cool. This game's amazing. Yeah, take a look at the description, get those materials, and you'll be set to build this farm. So let's start building. All right, to get started, you can find yourself a decent area. Flat is always good. You can have these things up in the air. You can have them down low, and you can be as close as you want to a village. I know a lot of people say you have to be really far from a village, but you can be pretty close to them as well. The only trick there is that you have to get rid of all the beds and you have to get rid of all the workstations in that close village. So yeah, if you've got a preference, then you just got to clean out the village. So let's go ahead and get started here. So we're going to make a big circle, and this is what's going to house all of our villagers. So this is going to be a 26 diameter circle. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll go out 1, 2, 1, 2. Then we'll put in some single ones just like that. Jump up here, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I will do one more quadrant here, and then the rest will be identical. So we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, then we'll place 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll just complete that circle all the way around. All right, with our circle in place, we're just going to build it up by one more all the way around. So go ahead and put that in. Okay, with this second layer on here, we can get inside, and we're just going to pick one of these corners, and this will be a location for where one of our villagers is going to be. So I'll just grab some new colored blocks here, and we're just going to build this out. So we're going to make these little areas for our villagers, just like this. This one has to bump out, and this orientation will allow us to make sure we have 30 villagers, and we also get 2 ways in and out. So that's a nice thing about this. And it just works out that we can get 32 bays. And we only really need 30. So make sure when you're building these out, you come out, make sure there's 2 spots just like this. Sometimes you'll have a wall that's 3 deep. We're going to go all the way around and finish this up. All right, we've got this crazy looking setup right here, but you can see the view from above. And these are all of our chambers. Now, you can choose, depending on the build or what direction you want to fly into or whatever, you can choose whichever one you want to make into doorway. So you can have an opening to get in and out. I'm just going to choose 2 sides here, just like that. And you know what? I'll probably go ahead and put in something different colored here so that I know that there's a door right here, which you can do whenever you want. All right, since we're probably playing in hard mode, and this is really the best way to make sure that you have got your villager discounts in the future, you can put in an iron door here just to protect all of our villagers, and you'll want to do it on the other side as well. So we'll just drop this in here. Once we start getting these villagers in here, well, we want to make sure they're protected. All right, the next part is to just go ahead and find the center of this thing, and you're going to have a 4-block center. So 1, 2 right here, that's the center. We seem to have that lined up. And then 1, 2, those are the center ones. And yep, here is our center location. So what we can do here is just dig that out, and we can have a little bit of a pathway here. So with that dug out, we can go ahead and throw in some chests and put your storage system in. What we're going to do is just build this up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to have 4 just like that. So this collection system's pretty much done. You can keep adding on more because you're going to get enough that you're going to want to have more chests in the future. And that shouldn't be a problem because by then you'll have lots of iron for these hoppers. So the next thing we want to do is grab a slab or a stair and put it right here. That way we can continue to open up this chest. And then we're going to put in some additional solid blocks just to fill in the gaps right here. And this still allows us to get underneath and get to our goodies. All right, for this next part, we're going to put in some temporary blocks for our beds. We're going to do a 2x4 area just like that. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like that. And then we're going to put 2 on the side and then 2 on the side. Now, for now, let's go ahead and put 1 right there. We don't need to get into our loot right now, but we're going to need a spot filled right there. So let's go ahead and put another layer on top of that. I'll use contrasting colors here just so that they stand out a little bit. You can see that we do have to have these different things. All right, at this point, we are ready to put in our beds. So we're going to go ahead and place 10 on top of this blue stuff, just like this. And you can keep the orientation of these however you want. It will not matter. In fact, north is that direction because we know the sun is rising and it's going to set over there. So north is that direction, and golems will spawn on the northwest corner. So on the north side, we want to make sure that these beds are closer to the hoppers. So the more pillows we have closest to the hoppers, the better, and that will help maintain this farm and keep it from breaking in the future. Okay, so since we have 10 beds in, we can start breaking these blue ones, and just like that, we have floating beds everywhere. So go ahead and break these out. Let's just move on to the last set here, and let's finish up these beds. All right, with all 30 beds in place, we can come down here, break that temporary block. We're going to come up here and place a temporary block on top of our hoppers. From here, we want to have a top slab go all the way around the outside of our hoppers. And this is going to contain our cats or little kittens from squirming out and getting away from our campfire that we'll put in right here in a little bit. So yeah, let's move on to the next step. All right, from here, I went ahead and made a different color block here on the single blocks of our perimeter. You can see these kind of pop out. And this is actually the outside of our flowing collection system. So if we start here, 1, 2, and then break that right there, we go 1, 2, and then Break those two right there. Now we can go and connect each one of these positions all the way across. You can come in right here and make your way all the way across. This is just a good guide for you to put all these things in. You don't have to count anything. You just got to go up by a couple, and then we should be in good shape. Once this is done, go ahead and fill in everything inside of this with some blocks. All right, we've got everything filled in, and you don't have to fill in these corners just like the outside, but this is a 20 by 20 square if that's important for you. Now make sure the middle is open, and right now we're going to go ahead and put in a sign right here, and we're going to build it up. Then we're going to build it up. So we've got 2 signs on top of that first one, and then we're going to come out 1, 2, 3. We're going to go the other side. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to come to this side. 1, 2, 3. And then all the way over here. So now we've got a big plus sign. We're getting ready to make our lava blade. So once we've done that, we can come right here. Go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oops. 3. And then we'll go on to this side over here and we'll put in our remaining signs. Now, when we're ready for this lava, we'll just put it right on top right here, and I'll show you with the block. That's where our lava is going to go, and it won't go anywhere other than on top of these signs here. So that is great news for us. But for right now, we got to get some campfires in. So let's grab those and put them right on top of these hoppers. I waited because this smoke just gets in the way most of the time. So you can see here it comes all the way up, and this is going to take care of our cats later on. All right, from here, now we're going to put a perimeter in. So we're going to put 1 block up just like this. We're going to get to the side, and we're going to put 2 just like that, and then another one. I'll put 1 right there. Maybe just some grass so you can see it's contrasting here. And we're going to go all the way around just like this. And we'll get to the corners again, build it up just like that. A contrasting block. And then we'll do this all the way around a couple more times. Now with this in place, what you can do is you can use slabs to go all the way around. You can use carpets to go all the way around. Or you can use leaves. And we're just going to put these on top here. And this is going to prevent any additional spawns from occurring up here that we don't want. And it will also prevent any golems from spawning up here because we are going to be right on the edge of the spawning platform or spawning locations that the golems will try to look for. So if these are not slabbed off or carpeted or leaved up, or you can use glass as well if you wanted to put this glass as a perimeter, that could save you some blocks. Then if you don't have that, then the golems will be walking around up here and they're unlikely to fall into our water streams. At this point, grab some temporary blocks, kind of block up here. Look for the top of that middle sign. It kind of sticks out. And we're going to go ahead and put our lava on top of that. You can see it's going to go out in a couple directions here. And don't worry about the floor. Unless you used wood, this is not going to be an issue at all. So yeah, make sure you don't use wood. All right, from here, grab an infinite water source. You can break out 3 blocks just like this and put 2 water sources on either side. And now you have an infinite water source right here in the middle. So what we can do is just come up here and we're going to place water. We're going to start over here. So we're going to, from this block here in the middle, we're just going to put a block in right there, block of water right there. Grab another, and then we can put another one right here. So guess what? We just created an infinite water source right here. So we can grab from there, go out a little bit, grab all the way across just like this. And instead of having to go back and forth or carrying a whole bunch of buckets, we're going to be in good shape. So once you get to this corner, though, do not put it right here or we're going to cause an issue with our water stream. So let's go ahead and put one up here. Skip one all the way across till we get to 1 block away. Put one up top. Skip one all the way across. Skip one up top. Skip one all the way across. And The last one right there. And now we'll see all of our water is, we don't have any dead spots where the golem could just sit. And all the water is flowing all the way into this hole down here. So we're looking really good. All right, some final things that you're going to want to do. Now, you can dress this up however you want, but there is something important that you're going to need to do is if you have any blocks right here, you're going to want to put them around the perimeter. Build this thing up so that it matches up here. So what you can do is just build this up and go all the way around to enclose it. And then you won't have any problems with the golems getting away or spawning down here. You can also just go ahead and slab in right here all the way around so that the golems do not come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and enclose this, but make sure you've got some torches inside. All right, so I enclosed the outside, and you're going to see that we've got some openings here to the sky. Go ahead and close that up however you want as well. It really won't matter. This is more decoration at this point than functionality. So just go ahead and close up the tops here, and we're going to start moving into our villagers. All right, I got some lights in here. We're looking pretty darn good. The next thing we want to do is just knock out whatever block we've got right here and go all the way around. And the reason behind it is because we're going to need to be, oh, let's fill this in right there so we have enough space for our villager to have a workstation. We're going to be able to trap these villagers in water, which will prevent them from switching their beds and switching their workstations when we don't want them to. So hopefully we're going to do this all in the right order, and we're not going to have any issues with that moving forward. All right, I went ahead and put some more lights in here just so it's easier to see. But this next step, we're going to go ahead and put in a slab right here and a trapdoor right there. And we can go ahead and lower that. That way we can get our villager in easily. And this is going to be used for our villager discounts in the future. So I'll show you what that is in a little bit. But once again, let's go ahead and move around, put the slab in right there, trapdoor, put it down, and we're just going to go all the way around and do all other 28 positions. All right, at this point, you can get some villagers in here, and you can start breeding them up, trying to get some adults. It's going to take a lot of time, so children actually take 20 minutes to grow up. And with 30 villagers, it's going to take a lot of time. So you could have started this a little earlier, I guess, where you can just let them roam around. Just make sure they don't run out, because that would be a pain. But once you've got 2 in here, you can put down, or once you have some adults, you can put one down, and you're going to get one that's going to start wanting to work. And if we just leave it alone, a lot of times they'll make their way away from the workstation. Come on, you're making me look like an idiot. Let's go. Go to your workstation. They'll eventually make their way to the workstation, and maybe a little intimidation. No, unfazed. But a lot of times, if we do this time set day, I'm in creative. In the mornings, they'll wake up and they'll make their way over to a workstation. They'll be ready to, come on now. You can push them over if you want to. It's not that big of a deal. But you can, once they're looking, usually they're just looking straight down. You can just give them a little nudge, and then you can lock them into position. Now, they can't get out because this trapdoor is in the way, so they can't jump and get on top of there to get out. So right now, what we can do is, start getting all the different workstations that we want. We can put another one in. Hopefully this one just comes right over and walks right to where we need them to be. It's either working a little bit. We're going to put them inside here. A little angry, but we're going to lock them in. But get all the different workstations that you want. Put them in while your villagers grow up, and then you can watch them stand on top of them, and then you can just get them to go right in. Looks like we got a thunderstorm. Now, just a reminder, if you don't put this trapdoor down, they will jump up and get out. So once you've pushed them in, make sure you've got that trapdoor in the right position. Also, we can't have nitwits in here, so dispose of them as you need to. All right, we got all the villagers in place. They're all locked into their cozy nooks, and looks like I forgot some. I got lucky there. Ooh, a bunch of them. Oh, gosh. Here we go. All right, while you were breeding up all those villagers, you probably heard some golems starting up, and that's because you've had 10 villagers with a minimum of 20 beds, and 70% of those workers had worked. So 70% of those, 7 out of 10 of those villagers actually did some work. And so the iron golem will appear. Now, as you grow your village with more villagers, you might have a whole bunch of babies, and it will stop the iron golem flow. So don't worry about it. They will come back once they grow up and start working. So there are some workstations that you're going to need to be aware of, like the lectern. You're going to want to have a slab in here. So if you're going to have a villager that's going to be a librarian, make sure you got to have slab here, because they can jump up on top of it and get out. And some of the other ones are a brewing stand, a grindstone, stone cutter, and the lectern. And you can see we can go ahead and try that out really quick. Let's grab our half slab and we can exchange that out. We'll try a brewing stand, throw that in there, and well, of course it went for the other things that are out here. Let's force it to go with the brewing stand. It's not going to be able to get out now. Same with this grindstone. We can quickly do that, change that out, and it's just low enough. It's got a low profile that I've seen them jump out. So what we want to do is put in our half slab above them, just like that. And same with this stone cutter. We've already done the stone. No, we did not. We put that in right there. You can see it jumps up on top of it. We need to push them back. And then now they can't jump up. They don't have enough room to jump up. So just like that, make sure if you do have these special ones that that stonecutter's a problem. Let's get the stonecutter back in here. That's easy enough. There. Now you can't even do anything. Now you're stuck in there. You can stand on that if you want. Villagers. All right, for trades, if you want, you can grab a sticky piston. You've got this guy in the right spot. We can come down here and put in a sticky piston just like this, and then we can put in a lever. If you don't like the trades that your librarian has, yeah, Infinity, I don't want that. Let's do this. We're going to pick it up. We're going to put it back down. We can still see our librarian in here. In fact, we can just break that a little bit. We can get to it through there. If you want a bookshelf, you can get it. Put it up, put it back down. It'll change again. And you can keep doing this until you find the trade that you want. And just do one at a time. And once you've found the one that you want, you can lock it in. And once we start converting these into zombies and back, you should be able to get these trades right back the way you want them. So this is what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to go ahead and once I have the trade I want, just break the piston and then you're done with it. So that way they don't pull this thing back up and change it. But if you locked it in, you're in good shape. So, all right, we're going to get these villagers all discounted up. So you might have a little trouble with maybe the brewing stand or the cutting tables. So they might just be far enough away from you that it does not make it that easy. But we can come right here. We'll do it right here next to these right here. We got a nice, looks like cave below us. So that's unfortunate. But we can get an easy platform here. We can bring in let's make sure we got enough sun cover for this zombie. Draw them in, and they should be interested enough in these villagers that they go right for them. And then they'll convert them, especially if you're in hard mode. If you're in easy mode, they'll probably just die. If you're in normal mode, they will have a 50% chance that they will die or become a zombified villager. And so what we can do is come in here. We can see that we've got a zombie right there. And all we have to do, hit it with some weakness. We can start converting it back. And then the discounts will start coming. If you need to do it more than once to get these, maybe you just want to pay, let's see here. Maybe you just want to pay one paper for a diamond or for an emerald. You just got to keep doing it 4 more times after this one. And then you'll have all your goodies. All right, so you are done with your villager discounts, and we're done. We're pretty much done. Yeah, you could have stopped earlier, but you went ahead and went for the villager discounts. The other great thing we can do now is grab your bucket of water and just walk over to each one of your villagers and drop in some water. Make sure they're standing in water all the time. This will prevent them from trying to connect with someone else's workstation, which will prevent your iron golems from spawning, and it will also keep them from trying to disconnect, reconnect from beds. But because we've got this thing set up so that no golems can spawn outside of our water upstairs, we don't really have to worry about that last part. We just want to make sure that we are keeping these villagers focused on their individual workstations. All right, thanks everyone for joining me on the Bedrock Guide. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. It really helps keep me motivated on making new farms for you. And the next thing is hit that like button. Let's hit some comments. Let's drum up some activity on there. It really helps the algorithm. Lets me know you're interested. Lets YouTube know you're interested, and we can keep this thing rolling. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave some comments, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.